This is Lassie, my DJI Mini 2, and this is Caledonia, my DJI Mini 3 Pro. And that up there is the cairn table, and it's 2 miles away, and you'll know that if you've watched my recent videos. A lot of people have been a bit anxious about the signal strength that's been reported in the Mini 3, so I'm going to fly Lassie the Mini 2 and Caledonia the Mini 3 Pro up on exactly the same flight towards the cairn table and watch the signal strength to see which one deteriorates first, or if they both deteriorate at the same time. Now, just before we get to the test flight, there's a few things I want to say about the new controller that comes with the Mini Pro. This controller screen is 700 nits, and this iPhone 12 Pro Max is 850 nits. Now, it's going to be very difficult for you to see there, I would imagine. So you have to take my word for it that for some reason the new RC controller does look brighter. What I will say is I much prefer the colour profile in the Mini 2. The sky is really nice and blue, where there's a kind of pinky purpley hue to the one in the RC controller. I don't think that'll be translated from the camera, but we'll see. The other difference is that the screen on the Mini 2 I'm seeing is 720p, I believe, and the screen on this one is 1080p. It doesn't make any difference to me, to be honest with you. It looks the same. The other thing I'd like to say about the RC controller with the Mini 3 Pro is the position of the sticks on top. It does slightly obscure the corners of the screen with your thumbs. I have small hands, so it's only obscuring it to a tiny amount. So you do have to slightly adjust your usual position that you'd be used to be flying the normal controller on the Mini 2. The other thing is, if you want to change the mode to cinematic or sport, you're completely covering half of the screen with your thumb, and if you want to hit the home button, it's the same. You're covering up some of the information with your thumb, but only for a brief second, so it probably doesn't matter too much. So having said that, let's get the test underway. So I've got a battery full load warning here. Check whether aircraft is under heavy load and reduce excessive motion during flight. Well, all I'm doing is pushing her forward. I'm not, I don't think I'm putting her under any excessive. So I've got a battery full load here. and a strong wind warning. So I'm fairly impressed with that. And that does not corroborate what some of the other creators have been posting on their videos about the signal strength of the Mini 3. I'm having no issues at all there. Right, I'm going to turn around now. That's 2,500 feet, 2.5 kilometres. I'm going to turn around now because the battery's getting close to 50%. And the gimbal now is, yeah, there we go. Okay, so the gimbal's all over the place. The gimbal's moving itself, and I'm not even touching it. It's not reacting very well at all, the gimbal. And now there's a thing. So I don't have our indicator on the map there to show where she is. That's not so good. Is that because she's not connected? So that's a thing we're going to have to bear in mind. Fortunately, I know this area very well, but there you go. So there's no map because we're not connected to the internet using this RC. So you will have to set up some kind of hotspot. I can see the blue dot for the home point, so I know roughly where I'm going, and I know the area. So as long as I continually fly towards the blue dot, it should be fine. good signal there at 1.5 kilometres away. If I was really stuck and I didn't know where I was, what do you think I'd do? I'd hit the return to home button. I like to fly manually whenever I can and only use the return to home as a last resort. And I'm not anywhere near a last resort yet. Hello Caledonia, how did you enjoy your first flight?
Very windy, but fun.
So there we go, Caledonia's very first flight. Not all the way up to the cairn, but she probably could have made it. She came back in with, I think, what, 27% battery left, maybe about 7 minutes of flight time, so it's possible that she could have made it all the way up to the cairn and then back down. So the battery, I would say, is, yeah, you do have a longer battery flight in the Mini 3 Pro. Signal strength, as far as I could tell, it looked just as good as the Mini 2. All in all, she performed fairly well. The next video will be the urban signal test.